The knockout punch. Don't we all just love it? Boxing fan or not, I believe we all enjoy a good knockout, whether it be an uppercut, a right hook, a left hook, a jab, or even an overhand straight. Regardless of how it's delivered, we're all for it. I don't know what it is exactly, but there's just something that feels so right seeing a professional fighter getting slumped down to the canvas. Obviously assuming that the fact that the fighter is fine with no apparent head trauma or any internal bleeding being induced during the process. And if this is the case, knockouts are cruel, inhumane, and extremely dangerous, and should damn right be stopped. But if otherwise, and the supposed fighter's okay both physically and neurologically, then we're all good to go. But on a more serious note, considering the fact that the majority of us live within a civilized society where violence is commonly shunned upon, why exactly does the barbaric act of a knockout punch prove to be so intriguing to us viewers? Is it that we enjoy seeing people in pain? Maybe. Or is it that we enjoy living vicariously through fighters inflicting pain onto others because we are simply not allowed to do so within society? Maybe. Or is it due to the simple fact that human beings inherently enjoy watching violence within the constraints of boxing, fully knowing that the watcher bears no responsibility for any harm being inflicted and not being on the receiving end to any legal repercussions of such actions? Bingo, this might be the answer. And of course, there are obviously many other reasons why viewers may enjoy boxing knockouts despite whatever that reason might be. And I believe that many viewers inevitably fall under the camp of either being a casual fan or even a boxing fanatic. Most fans could agree that the knockout punch is probably the most exciting thing you could witness during any scheduled fighting bout. Now here's a quick trivia for you guys, where I'm about to show you just 3 knockout related questions for you to now answer. I'm beginning with the first one. Which one of these 3 fighters has the greatest number of first round knockout victories during their boxing careers? Is it A. Mike Tyson, B. Peter Maher, or C. Shannon Briggs? Question 2. Which one of these 3 fighters has the lowest total knockout percentage during their fighting career? Is it A. Evander Holyfield, B. Frank Bruno, or C. David Haye? And finally, question 3. In seconds, how long did it take to achieve the fastest knockout ever recorded during a championship fight? Did it take A. 11 seconds, B. 24 seconds, or C. 20 seconds? And to find out the answers, just wait until the end of the video. As spectacular as knockouts may be, they don't come around as often as you may think. A study conducted 2 years ago had found that knockouts occur as much as 40 to 66% of matches, and this study included all weight classes from the strawweight all the way to the heavyweight division. Now this is quite interesting if you were to ask me, and I'm not too sure on the validity of these findings, but a thing to also note is that this study had a very small sample size, and so these findings might not truly be representative. And in this video, we're going to go back into the past and replay a few of the craziest knockout victories that we've witnessed so far into the modern history of the sport. And it all begins on May 2nd, 2009. We now come to the fight between Manny Pacquiao and Ricky Hatton, which was billed the Battle of East and West, whereby Pacquiao fighting out from the Philippines from the far east and Hatton fighting out of the UK from the far west. Both contenders were fighting for the IBO and the Ring Light Welterweight Championship titles of the world. This fight was scheduled to take off in Las Vegas, Nevada, and was broadcasted on HBO pay-per-view with projections of 850,000 sales, with hopes in generating at least $50 million alone in revenue. With both fighters standing at 5 feet 6 inches tall, the fight between Manny Pacquiao and Ricky Hatton was underway, and what you're now about to see was voted as Knockout of the Year by the Ring magazine.
Through the lightweight. Oh, that might end it. Massive left hand. Lays Hatton out. Look at this. Just check this out. Oh, that is a shuddering punch. Pacquiao.
With the date set to the 28th of July 2018, we now arrive to the second fight on this list. And fighting on the undercard of Dillian Whyte vs Joseph Parker on Sky Box Office, we have the scheduled fighting bout between Dave Allen and Nick Webb. With a boxing record of 13 wins, 4 losses and 2 draws, Allen was looking to seek redemption from his previous fight, where he lost by TKO to a French fighter just over a month ago in Paris. After losing, Allen had also reported he wanted to take an extended break from the sport to work on his weaknesses. Now Nick Webb entered the fight with a perfect boxing record of 12 wins, 0 losses and 0 draws, all while having the greater reach and height advantage standing at 6 foot 5 inches tall, whereby edging 2 inches over in height against Allen. With everything now finalized, both the heavyweight Brits were set to go, where the fight between Dave Allen and Nick Webb was now underway.
Right hand to the body there, got his jab going straight away, looking to get some shots up. Hook off the jab and bring the right hand in. But Allen very... Another one. Oh, big one. Right again. Healed over the ropes and he wasn't going to recover from that.
Well, Scott Welch was coming around to try and get the gum shield out of his... Wonder whether he would be able to get to win in a big fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the...
We then segue into the next fight on this list. With the location set to the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, the mandatory contender Dominic Breazeale was scheduled to challenge Deontay Wilder for the WBC Heavyweight Championship title. And during this time, Breazeale was ranked as the 4th best fighter according to the WBC Power Rankings that year, as well as coming off a victory against Eric Molina in 2017 and Carlos Negron in 2018. Whereas for Wilder, he had just fought his first bout against Tyson Fury, which ended in a split decision, and was yet still undefeated at this point in time. And during an interview after a press conference, I especially, as well as everyone else, could tell that he seriously wanted to hurt Breazeale. Nah, I mean like seriously. Deontay really wanted to hurt this guy. Just have a listen to what he said exactly.
This is the funeral right here. It's just no casket yet. This fight right here, I will get a body on my record. I've been wanting one for a long time now anyway. And what better opponent to do it with? I want a body, and he gonna be the body.
That's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way, man. Are you sure we're talking about lethal, like a death certificate in the ring?
We get paid for this. This is what we do. We get paid for this. We sign up for this. He say he gonna kill me, and I say I'm gonna kill him. So may the best man win on the killing.
And if you're familiar with Deontay, what he said comes as no surprise, and also has an extensive history of calling out and intimidating his opponents just before major fights. Although this interview was prior to his fight against Hatton in 2017, I believe the energy is still the same. And now the immediate question might be, how exactly did this fighting bout against Hatton end, you may ask? Yeah, he didn't have a chance. Now fast forward to this current day and let's see how the fight transpired between Deontay Wilder and Dominic Breazeale that night.
Against Tyson Fury. There's a big right hand for Wilder already. There's a jab followed by right hand. No, there's a big right hand, and it's done. Breazeale at this point. Oh, big right hand. Down goes Breazeale. Oh no! And then boom, right on the jaw.
The matchup between Carl Froch and George Groves was set for the 31st of May 2014, but just before continuing, we need to go back to their very first bout. With the fight scheduled in November 2013, the fight between both fighters was billed the Battle of Britain, where Froch was defending both the WBA and IBF Super Middleweight Championship titles against Groves. And the challenger at this point in time was undefeated, while having a perfect record of 19 wins, 0 losses and 0 draws, and was also ranked as the 2nd best according to the WBA, the 5th best according to the IBF, and also the 5th best fighter according to the Ring magazine, whereas Froch came into the fight with a boxing record of 32 wins, 2 losses and 0 draws. And with this in mind, many fans were eager to see how this fight might transpire. With the location set to the Manchester Arena, the fight was now underway.
20 seconds left in round 8. Groves tags him.
Can't be knocked out. I'm beginning to believe him because he's been hit with...
Groves is in trouble. He's taken another one and another. And Howard Foster has stopped it. Wow! That is going to...
After losing his first career match to a controversial TKO call, Groves as well as his corner felt as though he was robbed of an opportunity to potentially win the bout, but was intervened by the referee due to believing that Groves at that point was no longer able to defend himself. And even still to this day, many boxing fans still judge this to be an extremely controversial decision. And now we fast forward to their rematch the following summer, with this fight billed unfinished business, where Groves would look to seek redemption for his defeat, and at the time, this fight drew a record attendance of 80,000 fans, and was also recognized as Knockout of the Year as well as Event of the Year according to the Ring magazine.
But catches another left hand. Digs in deep, sucks it up and gives it. Wow!
Because Carl Froch did not allow him to perform. And look at that, as soon as that punch landed, and look, turns away from it. And it hits him bang in the chin and just scrambles his brain.
Jim, I don't know if he saw it. I think he was...
Title fight to talk about. What a night here at Wembley Stadium.
Now last and certainly not least, we have a slightly more recent fight where we have two Mexican fighters contending for the WBC Super Featherweight Championship title of the world, with the date and location set to Las Vegas, Nevada on the 20th of February 2021. And for the very 6th time in his career, Miguel Berchelt was defending his WBC title against the challenger Oscar Valdez, who also at this point in his career had achieved a championship title at the featherweight division and was successfully able to defend this title 6 times just before shortly vacating. Valdez had now moved up a weight class to hopefully conquer the super featherweight division, and in my personal opinion, this might be my most favourite knockout this entire video. Make sure to pay close attention because it's certainly a crazy one. And so finally, this is how the fighting back between Oscar Valdez and Miguel Berchelt unraveled.
Backs him up, and that's a technical knockdown. The ropes held him up. Look at his legs! 18 power punches landed of 64 thrown and scored.
Campeón. No valió verga, que no tiras.
Hey, come on, man.
Oh my!
All night. Knowing when the box, when to move, but this right here is saving grace. Left hook with the movement. A lot.
Is where Miguel Berchelt will be headed to. And that is very close by.
As I mentioned earlier, most of us are eager fans awaiting a potential chance of witnessing a knockout victory, whether it be a methodically timed counterpunch or whether being able to land a crucial hook from a barrage of Hail Marys that just so happen to connect. And in rare instances, where fighters run out of all their options and somehow land an absolute fluke of a power punch that literally came out of thin air, and sometimes makes you even wonder how the heck exactly did they even come so far into their boxing career. Regardless of how the finishing knockout blow materialized, we can still appreciate the very moments where everything came to a standstill, where we all paused from what we were doing and for one split second we momentarily fixed our eyes to the screen to grasp exactly what had now just been written in history. And for those of you that made it to the end of the video, I do honestly appreciate riding it out to the very end with me. As I promised from earlier, here are all the questions to the trivia. Make sure to tell me down below in the comments how many questions you answered correctly, and also let me know which knockout was your favorite, because I'm truly interested. Thank you all for tuning into this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and as always, I will see you in the next one.